Every week we're doing a pole tent or two, so I thought today, hey, why don't you guys join us for our 40 by 60 pole tent setup.
We're so what you call it? We're so urbanized. We're like, oh, baby frog.
So this is a typical pole tent setup. It's a 40 by 60. And what we want to do here to save time is we just have 4 people today, so not many. I would say we're understaffed. We want 2 people to be on the stake line and then 2 people to be starting the top. By the time we're done staking all the stakes on the stake line, the top is pretty much seamed up and we're ready to lift. That seems to be the most efficient way of setting up these pole tents. We arrange the tarps like this. This is the long way. Okay, like that's the long way. We leave these little corridors for the tarps. So you can walk in right there, put the tent top, and then with no shoes unroll it. But this gives you access to the center where you want to start putting the tent tops, okay, without having to walk with your shoes on. Okay, so we're almost ready for seaming. We're also putting ratchet straps, legs, and the long center poles. We're getting all that ready so that the moment we're done seaming, pretty much everything goes right up. Everything's ready for ratcheting and we're good to go. Yeah. Yeah. So after you're done seaming, you put the legs through. Okay, you want to do the corner ones first, and then you do the seam legs. But actually, change of plan. We usually put the seam leg in the seam leg, but then we lift the corner leg and then we lift the seam leg. Does that make sense? Anyway, this isn't a video that's going to go super in depth into the pole tent setup. It'll just give you an overview, some tips. And now it's time for threading that center pole through, okay? That's really the hard part. I'll need to do this at the same time, so you probably won't see the footage, but I'll show you what happens after the center pole is through. We have the cap.
I go for a sec.
Now you don't want the legs to be plumb, straight up and down. You want them to be leaning in. That's gonna make putting the center pole in easier. Okay, so that's the first center pole in. Usually we all go shirtless because we gotta manhandle this thing. We really need a winch system, which we do have, but it takes a while to set up. So sometimes we just do it by ourselves. That's where the second one will be going through. We'll remove the tarp and then we can wheel the second center pole up in this 40 by 60 tent. So we have the seam legs and the corner legs in place for this pole tent. And that's what you want to plumb up first. We usually do the corners, then we do the seams plumb, And ideally you want to have one guy here and one guy here and kind of plumb them at the same time. That's going to be the easiest, and it's going to stretch evenly, and it's going to make the most sense. After that, we can put all the other legs. There's technically legs every 10 feet. These are 20-foot spans right now. And after that, the walls, maybe plumb up the center poles a little bit, and we're good to go. Okay, so take the leg. We put this, it's a little bit less sharp on the side that the fabric will be touching. This goes through the hole up here. Then it comes with a little washer, screw-on washer. It rings in. Then you grab the ratchet. We already typically pre-ratchet it to the bar there. Goes on like that. And you pull it tight. And then you ratchet it up. You're good. I messed this one up because it's supposed to go right here. And there you go. You want it to be plumb. Once it's plumb, actually this is messed up a little bit because this is supposed to be on the top. No big deal, still works completely fine. Once we're all plumbed up and we're happy, we don't have to adjust anything, that's when we take these and start wrapping them up like this. We put it in here, do this, and it's nicely tucked away. There you have it. 40 by 60 high peak pole tent. I think the pole is to there. It's about 28 feet. So it's a fairly high pole. I know there's a lot of pole tents with shorter poles. I like the look of the larger poles a little bit better, I think. But there you have it. 40 by 60 wedding pole tent set up. Hopefully that was a bit helpful. We're happy to be done here and heading home. Nice and bright, nice and sunny, nice and hot.